I first noticed my hairline receding when I was quite young, probably in my late teens. You look around and you kind of feel like you're the only person who's got any recession in your hair, and you kind of start thinking, you know, how am I this unlucky, and how many more years have I got? Is it going to keep receding? Will I be bald by the time I'm 25? So it's very difficult to take and very worrying. Every now and again someone would throw in a comment like, oh, your forehead's really big, or you're going to be bald by the time you're 20, something, you know, things like that. And you laugh it off, but deep down, when it is something that you're fully aware of and it bothers you, you know, you think about it and it concerns you a lot. And you feel very powerless because there's nothing you can do about it. You don't realise, but it takes a lot of mental energy away from you, definitely. The main thing that made me want the treatment was, I would say, on an emotional level, it was to try and just take back control of my life. You know, something that I had no power over, that had been bothering me for years. I felt had an opportunity to kind of take control of that and, you know, get back something that I had when I was young. And also, I just wanted to be able to have certain hairstyles that I just hadn't been able to have for years. To be able to, you know, have my hair pushed back like I have now was something that I hadn't been able to do for over a decade. Whether this is right or wrong, I really felt apprehensive about going abroad to do it. First of all, who was going to be doing the surgery? It's very hard to look up the track record of surgeons abroad, whether it would actually be surgeons. And then obviously, if something went wrong, you're in a foreign country, it's very difficult to access healthcare. And also, if I wasn't getting the results I wanted, how easy would it be to go back and, you know, try and get them sorted out? You know, would I have to go on a plane again? And it just, logistically for me, it made sense to, you know, stay in the UK and get it done here. So due to all the background knowledge I had of hair transplants and all the research, I felt very well equipped to choose a clinic. And I'd looked at, you know, I'd spoken to various surgeons and clinics, and I definitely felt that everything that Westminster told me correlated with all the research I had done, so there were no surprises on my part. Well, there were other places where they said I needed, you know, over 2,000 grafts. I was told here, you know, just over 1,000 would do. Other places said that I'd need a little bit on my crown, even though I was quite surprised by that because I didn't think I had any recession in my crown, and Westminster supported that. And if ever I had a question, it was very easy to speak to James or someone at Westminster, and they'd get back to me, you know, instantly really. So for me, once I'd looked around at a few clinics, and Westminster being one of them, it was a pretty easy decision to choose Westminster in the end. It seemed to happen quite quickly for me, for the new hairs to grow through. I'd say from about 3 months, I started seeing growth, and I was also very happy with the healing process. I healed exceptionally quickly. I have no scars or anything like that. And like I said, I have to tell people that I've had a hair transplant. Nobody can tell at all. So yeah, genuinely delighted with the results. And I must say, I kind of don't think about the hair transplant anymore. I'm just getting on with my life, and initially, after you first have the transplant, you're constantly looking at the hair, seeing them grow. But I'm just at that lovely stage now where I don't really think about it. You never forget that you've had a transplant, but it just doesn't, it's not at the forefront of my brain anymore. I have my hair and I just get on with life. I just feel so much more relaxed, and I think the main thing is I don't think about it as much. So yeah, it's very exciting and just such a burden off my shoulders. The most memorable moment I've had since the procedure was a small one, but I was in the pub with a friend in the summer, and we were just sitting outside, and he just out of the blue just said, "Your hair's looking really like thick and healthy at the moment." Yeah, and he didn't know I'd had a hair transplant at all, but he just said, yeah, it just looked a bit thin at times before, but yeah, it's looking, no, that's the best I've ever seen your hair look. And that little moment, albeit how small, was really, you know, stuck with me. I was really pleased with that.